Jody here, and we are at Badlands National Park. We're sitting here among the ponderosa pines in the Black Hills of South Dakota. We're actually just sitting around reminiscing about our time in the Badlands National Park. And according to the Visitor Center of the Badlands, of course the geology is the main key here that really sets this place off because of all the different layers of sedimentary telling different stories. And according to the Visitor Center, it took about 500,000 years scientifically to create from the high plateau to what we see today. And they are estimating that it'd be about another 500,000 years for it to go back to a flat plateau.
So if you haven't had the chance to visit the Badlands, you have to go see this amazing place. The geology is spectacular, and it covers a huge range of time from actually the very bottom rock layers that you see there at the end of the dinosaur era, actually 70 million years ago, up to the very tips of the little peaks that have they're about 30 million years ago. And then there's these layers. Some of them are really big, some of them aren't very big, but each layer represents different time periods over millions of years. And the cool part is that you find lots of different fossils in these time periods. Everything from these couple different kinds of saber-toothed cats, and this is a super fossil-rich area, up to these, they look like a big giant pig, bigger than me size pigs that were omnivores from their teeth. So fascinating creatures, and really a significant fossil find of time periods. So if you get the chance to check it out, the Visitor Center has a really cool exhibit that you should see.
Even with the very arid and deserted feeling of the Badlands, it still is teeming with life. From barn swallows to bison to mule deer and bighorn sheep, there's a lot of creatures that we found. And one in particular, we almost had a very interesting experience with.
Look at him walk. Don't bring him there. He's almost a full curl.
Hello.
Looks like he put his head down for
Hello. Woo, big old bison bull right next to the road. Oh, big boy.
Take a picture. Quick.
So, at the visitor center, I learned something interesting about prairie dogs. Is that the first pioneers, whenever they came here and studied the prairie dogs, they called them mini farmers for one reason in particular. Because they would kill off all the surrounding grasses and plant eastern grass that they would like to eat, like farmers do. See that? There's a bunch of prairie dogs here along the road. There happens to be one sitting in the middle. Oh, there it goes. Like, look at this. There's just hundreds of homes, thousands of prairie dogs. Look at this one. And it's whole. Just look at this. Prairie dogs. They dig holes. Yeah, sorry for the humming sound. That's just the zooming in on this old camera. Look at this one. Hello, so right up under here is a little cave and I can see light going through. I was thinking, I could crawl under there, but I've got to check for rattlesnakes first. next thing I notice, a rattlesnake is rattling its tail at me. Startled me. Probably everyone else here, but
It is right there.
yeah, it's right here.
Yep, very cool. I'm glad you did not crawl in there, because right where you step is right where the rattlesnake is.
I hope you can see this.
That's good, Jody.
He started rattling. Do you see him? That is awesome.
The prairie rattlesnake, as you are just saying, is actually rated as a highly venomous snake compared to all the other snakes that are venomous here in the United States, which is interesting. And another cool part is how big their span of where they live is. They go from Canada all the way down to Mexico and on the west central section of the United States.
So prairie rattlesnakes happen to have both neurotoxin and a hemotoxin. The neurotoxin actually shuts down the systems of the prey, and the hemotoxin helps in digestion because it goes to jelly inside. So it is a very, very good thing. Nobody got bit. Our worlds would have been turned upside down if somebody got bit. However, all venomous snakes definitely have their place and are very beneficial to the ecosystem, keeping checks and balances.
So, as Bill talked about, the Badlands area is very fossil rich. With all these multiple layers, it has hundreds of different types of fossils. However, none of them are dinosaurs, which is pretty interesting. But if you go into the visitor center, you got on the left side everything in the visitor center, and then you got a little sign on the wall that says, actually I guess for you guys it would be Fossil Lab with an arrow pointing that way. So then if you follow it, you'll find another sign that says Fossil Lab, arrow also pointing that way into a room. If you go in there, you'll see professionals working on fossils, which is pretty cool. And there were actually a couple we saw. We saw a person measuring a turtle shell, which was about size of, I don't know, small basketball, soccer ball size. And then there was also two of them, the other two working on saber-toothed cats, or a relative of them at least. One in particular was trying to remove the bottom jaw from the rest of the skull because it had extra teeth that we don't normally see, so it was scientifically significant. Apparently she got it down to where you could see the teeth, and part of the area here was cleared out, and that took her 2 months to do.
People at sea without a little weight. Float and float. Oh.
It just vibrates. So it's a drill. Vibrating, jumping around.
Yep, and the reason we see things flying away is because since it's powered by air, the air is actually pushing it away from it, which actually helps us a lot. So we don't have to push it off.
Beautiful. We're riding from the main visitor center on the east side up to the fossil bed trail, which we're almost there. We have to go over the pass. It's only 5 miles one way, real easy. The only tricky part is this last climb, maybe 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile, and we'll be there. So the best part is it might be hard going up, but it'll be real easy coming down. So. Car.
So we're taking this road in the backcountry of Badlands National Park. It's called what again, Granite? What's the name of this road? It's called Sheep Mountain
Drive.
Table. It says high clearance vehicles only. So we're gonna see if we can make it in our little outback.
Dry. If it was wet, I'd be a little nervous, but it's bone dry. And
So are we tilted at a little bit of an angle?
yes, actually more than I'd like. But this have been pretty 20 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. We just finished our backcountry drive.
4-wheel drive only.
Take a look at that.
And remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you always know whenever I post my latest educational video. And remember, the best classroom with no walls, Earth's classroom.